Hi guys, my name is Mayana and welcome to Maya Core. I really hope that you can't hear my fan on because I am not turning this fan off for y'all. Like, it is hot as fuck, okay? But today I'm going to be doing another video essay, and so I thought it would be really fun if I do deep dives on tropes for you guys, because I noticed in my video where I talk about tropification of book talk and how tropes are affecting the book community right now. I thought it would be really fun if I do a deep dive into these tropes, because in the video so many people were like, either they were fascinated by the tropes or people just didn't know about them. So today I'm going to start off with fake dating, because this used to be my favorite trope once upon a time, and now it's my least favorite. You'll find out why in the video. And before we get into anything, let me know what tropes you want to see next. I do have some planned, but if you have some that you really want to see, like, I can do my research. I pretty much read everything, so I'm pretty familiar. But yeah, I can do my research if you want, and I can talk about it. So let me know what you want to see. But yeah, let's actually get into the video. What makes a book fake dating? Fake dating is when two people agree to pretend to be a couple, so they're not actually a couple, but both of them agree on it so that they both can benefit from it. It's very rare that these two characters don't actually end up together. Fake dating isn't like other tropes where you get like really specific on the meaning, like enemies to lovers. Like, to me enemies to lovers is when two characters hate each other, like they want to off each other, and they end up falling in love. Can only really be done in fantasy, because in real life, enemies to lovers, like a character trying to kill you, is like, girl, run. Enemies to lovers is very specific to me, so it's not like that. Like, literally, as long as the two characters are pretending to be a couple, it is fake dating. So now we get into the different types of fake dating. So there are a bunch of branches of fake dating. So you have the bet trope, waking up in Vegas, marriage of convenience, and then fake dating. The bet trope isn't really fake dating, but I wanted to put it in there because I remember one time me and someone were arguing. Like, I was like, oh, I love fake dating, and they assumed it was bet trope, but it kind of is, but it's not really. So the bet trope is when one person is making a bet, like, oh, I bet I can get her to fall in love with me, I bet I can get her in bed with me, and then, you know, he's pretending to be in, because it's usually the male character, where he's pretending to be in love with her, he ends up falling in love with her actually, and then you know, she finds out and it's like a whole mess. It's very popular in like fan fiction, and back in my Wattpad days there aren't really any books out here that have that, except for Good Girls Complex by L. Kennedy. And I'm not gonna lie, I ate that book up because it reminded me of like the messy like Wattpad days, and I just found it so fun. So if you don't care, like if you don't really have any morals when it comes to romance books, and you don't really care about like problematic shit, definitely check out Good Girls Complex. It was such a fun summer read. But like, if you don't like it, I did not recommend it to you, okay? The bet trope isn't really fake dating, but I wanted to include this just in case anybody like got confused. So then we have marriage of convenience, which is actually my favorite trope. And so marriage of convenience is when two characters either legally get married even though they aren't in love with each other to benefit from it, or they pretend to be married so that they can benefit from it. So sometimes with marriage of convenience, sometimes they do this to become like, one person needs to become legal in America. So like the movie The Proposal, where they do this fake thing so they can like become legal. Or sometimes they do it so that one person can inherit the money, kind of like the book that just came out by Christina Lauren, which is like The Paradise something. So they both were pretending to be married. At first it was just so that they could live together, and then it ends up like, he ends up being like, oh, we never actually got divorced, and the money doesn't kick in until X amount of time, so let's pretend to be married. Or it could also be like The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, which I actually like, because I did not like The Paradise. What was like The Paradise Problem? I did not like that book. The Unhoneymooners, they weren't legally married, they were just pretending to be married, because both of their siblings had got married to each other and they really didn't like each other for real. But on the wedding day, their siblings got sick, and so they had to go in their place. Like, the main character, her sister was her twin, and then with the love interest, his brother was, they weren't really twins, but it was his brother. That somehow worked, and I actually really loved that book. I thought it was super fun. I don't think that Christina Lauren has not made a book that I have loved since then. Even though that's like a Fade to Black book, people have issues with like Fade to Black now, so I think The Honeymooners gets written off. But personally for me, I think it's like such a fun trope. So then we have Married in Vegas, which is a trope that I love. So with this one, it's usually when two characters end up going to Vegas, or they're already in Vegas, and then they wake up and they realize that they're married to each other, so they stay married so that they can benefit from it. There's a book that just came out that just came out in February. I had read it last year. I think it's literally called The Proposal, and it's like they wake up married in Vegas, and they stay married because the male main character, his job wants to see that he wants to start a family. Because, you know, a lot of jobs now, like when they see that you have a family and like you're not in school and you kind of don't really have, you know, you kind of need to settle down, they like seeing that so that they can know that like you'll be there for a long time. So like that's what happens with him. I don't remember how the main character benefits from it, but yeah, so like usually they wake up married. I love this trope. It's really done in like fan fiction for real. It's not really like a published book type of thing. And honestly, I get why, because it's a very short, like I don't think a Married in Vegas needs to be over like 288 pages, maybe 300 pages, 320 pages if we're pushing it. But a lot of times now romance authors are writing like 400-page books for some reason. So I'm not about to sit here for 400 pages reading a Married in Vegas trope. Like, absolutely the fuck not. And then of course we have the fake dating trope, which I've already explained and what the video is about. Why I love fake dating. So the very first time I read a fake dating book, I was in high school, so a decade ago. And my sister had just, because my sister is also a big reader, so my sister came up to me. She was like, hey, there's this really cute book that I love. The sisters really remind me of us. They're always like braiding each other's hair, and they're like really close, because I think me and my sister are very close. We've always been very close, and I think that like close siblingship isn't really represented in media. And like a lot of siblings aren't that close with each other. They don't really get along, so I understand it. So when she came across this book that like we really relate to, she was like, hey, you should check it out. So I pick up the book, I read it. I think it was my junior year. I remember carrying that book. It had to be my junior year, because I carried that book around with me everywhere. And the second book had already been out by then, and we were waiting on the third book. And I literally remember we had one copy that we shared. My sister still has that copy. We both had our own like highlighters, and we both highlighted through it. I remember when the third book was coming out, and me and her were trying to guess like what cover the color would be. We were so off. It was just absolutely amazing. Like, I read it, I fell in love with Laura Jean. Like, even though she's very naive, I really relate to her. I've always been a hopeless romantic, and I was a little naive growing up as well. And I fell in love with Peter Kavinsky. Like, I'm still waiting for my Peter fucking Kavinsky to this day as a grown-ass adult. Like, I don't care. Like, I love him. Maybe I should pull out my Funko Pops while I talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna go get my Funko Pops. Here are my Funko Pops. My Peter Kavinsky, and... Okay, she's not standing up. Why is she not standing up? She needs something to like lean on. Okay, my Peter Kavinsky and my Laura Jean. So yeah, I remember just reading it and like absolutely falling in love with it. I just love these two characters. So Peter Kavinsky, he wanted to fake date Laura Jean so that he could make his ex-girlfriend Genevieve jealous, and Laura Jean wanted to fake date Peter Kavinsky because she was trying to avoid her sister's ex-boyfriend, because she had wrote a letter to all the boys that she's ever loved. Peter Kavinsky got one, and then like one other person, and then she was in love with her sister's ex-boyfriend before her sister even started dating him. So when they broke up, it really like upset her. Also, one thing I loved about it was there's like this mystery of like who the fuck mailed out these fake letters. Also, why the fuck did Laura Jean address them? But that's neither here nor there. It was just watching Laura Jean and Peter like be like, we're fake dating, but I kind of like actually have real feelings for you. And like Peter's starting to realize that like maybe Genevieve isn't the right girl for him. Like, she's kind of a mean girl, she's kind of a bitch. And Laura Jean just like being able to like this girl who like loves to bake and read and all these hobbies. She's so mother. She raised me. I'm sorry. Like, as someone who loves to like bake and read, like Laura Jean literally raised me. To me, a lot of fake dating books are structured the same, and they have like this layout where the book starts and a character is presented with a problem. They know another character that also has a problem, and the easy solution is, hey, let's fake date. Then they like fake date, and then at one point they have to like fake kiss each other, and that's where like sparks start to fly. They realize they have feelings for each other. There's a third act breakup because winners they're not, and then they end up getting back together. And I don't know, I kind of love the formula of it all. Like, I sometimes complain about things being repetitive and like things or books having a formula, but fake dating having like just knowing exactly how it's gonna happen sometimes is really helpful for like to read it. And at first I really loved like the fact that it was very formulaic, and it was like my favorite thing about fake dating is watching these characters pretend like they're in love with each other and actually falling in love. It was actually very enamoring because it just reminds me of like actors and how a lot of the times actors will fall in love with their co-stars that they're pretending to date. So it's like, can you really pretend to love someone? Like, it's very fascinating. But then it starts to feel overdone. It starts to feel like every book that I was reading was fake dating, and not because I was seeking it out, but because like that's just how, like, it's like romance authors caught on to the fact that one, fake dating is easy to write because it already has a formula, and two, audience already love fake dating, so it's like, wow, it's just like something very easy to be done. And then I also noticed like a structure in like every romance series where like one book would be fake dating, one book would be enemies to lovers, one book would be like second chance romance, and then the other book would be like some random ass trope like best friend's brother or some shit. And it's like, pick up literally any romance book that's, oh, now it's like a single parent are really popular now, like nanny tropes are really popular now, but they'll have like a mix of like all those things. Literally go and look up a series. I guarantee you that like 9 times out of 10 the series has those structured books. Like, and it's fun, it's nice to read, but it's like when you start to realize that every single romance series is structured the same, you're kind of like, okay, well, where's the originality? So lastly, why I personally am tired of fake dating. Personally, for me, I'm just tired of it. It went from being my favorite trope as a teenager to my least favorite trope as an adult, which is so crazy because if you would have told teen me, who was seeking out Wattpad books, published books, fan fictions, anything that I can get my hand on with fake dating, that I would be absolutely sick of the trope, and not because I was reading too much of it, but because it's literally everywhere, I would have been like, girl, what are you complaining for? And now that I'm actually an adult and I'm like, wow, like it's really overdone. Like it's too much at this point. I just feel like, and it also, I just feel like it makes more sense for a YA book to be fake dating versus an adult book, because at least in a YA book, like you accidentally tell your friends that you have a boyfriend and now you need to like date him, or like to other boys I love before, like she needed to avoid somebody so she started fake dating them. Or there's a book that I read called Her Good Side where both the characters felt like they just sucked at romance, so they started fake dating each other to prove to their friends and to themselves that like they don't suck, and then they end up falling in love with each other. Like that just makes so much more sense. Whereas as an adult, it's like, why do you have a fake boyfriend? Because you need to prove to your mom that you can get a man so she can leave you alone. I get it, but then it's at the same time, it's like, you're a grown woman, you should be able to tell your mom like, hey, I don't have a person right now that's either not something that I focus on, or sometimes people, me, just aren't lucky in romance, no matter how much you love it. It's not my fault. Could be, probably, I don't know. And it's just like with adult, it's just like, so it starts getting sillier and sillier, the circumstances, because obviously authors can't copy each other, or like audience is going to be like, girl, can you be original? So it's like, I feel like all the authors already took all the good fake dating ideas, so now authors are just pulling out literally the dumbest ideas, like the dumbest reasons out of their ass. And I can tell, I don't know about other readers, but I definitely can tell that you're just pulling this fake dating idea out of like thin fucking air. And then I also know you're probably wondering like, how can I loathe fake dating now, but I love Marriage of Convenience? And to me, I just feel like in Marriage of Convenience, the stakes are just higher, and it makes more sense to be fake married to somebody, like to get fake married to somebody to get your mom off your back. Like that makes more sense than like fake dating someone. I don't know, maybe it doesn't make sense to other people. Also, like I said, the stakes are just higher in like Marriage of Convenience. It's not like you can just get divorced, you can't just break up. And I also think that because so many authors are focusing on fake dating, that like Marriage of Convenience isn't really like, they aren't really like utilizing that. If you want to see a breakdown of Marriage of Convenience, I definitely can do one because I love it. Also, the characters like legally benefit from it, they financially benefit from being fake married, whereas with fake dating you're kind of just like, you know. Lastly, I just feel like it's an overflow amount of fake dating where authors just feel like they need to get creative, but it's not creative and it's just like boring. So now I'm gonna get into my fake dating recommendations, because even though I hate the trope, there are still some books out there that I feel are really good. So the first book I have is The Bodyguard, and this is about this girl who is a bodyguard and she needs to protect this celebrity, kind of think like Chris Evans, he's like an actor, and she needs to protect him. So they start fake dating because he doesn't want his family to know like why she's his bodyguard, and not because she's a woman, but because he doesn't want to scare his family because something happened to his brother, so he doesn't want to scare his parents, so they fake date because that is just so much easier for her. And I read this in the midst of being sick of fake dating, and I just feel like it made so much sense. It was so good, the romance was just amazing. Obviously I have to All the Boys I Loved Before, because why wouldn't you want to witness the great romance of Laura Jean and Peter Kavinsky? And then I have One Week in Paradise, which they're fake dating for a brand trip, which I think is really, really cool and it's very unique. It's very summer vibes. It's so good for the summer. She's a content creator and her boyfriend just broke up with her. She got invited to this brand trip and her friend was like, just go. She's like, I don't have anybody to go with. I can't go alone. And her friend is like, just take somebody. So then she's telling her family. Her brother offers up his best friend, and it turns out his best friend has been in love with her the whole time. So it's like best friends, brother's best friend, my favorite trope, and then fake dating. So it was just it was so good. And then I have Funny Story, which is not really fake dating, but I loved it. It's Emily Henry. Like, I don't need to tell you what that's about, just get into it. Her Good Side, which I talked about earlier, which is about this girl who feels like she's never really experienced love and she never really cared for it, but she's just seeing it happen all around her. And there's this guy in school who he's got really hot this year. Her descriptive words, not mine. He got really hot this year, and he just keeps getting dumped though, and he doesn't know why. So they pretend to fake date. Also, he was her best friend's ex-boyfriend, so the friend group is a little weird, but I didn't care. Like, the friend group didn't seem to care, so I didn't really care. Then we have The Dating Playbook, and this is about this series where these 3 girls find out that they were dating the same man, and so they break up with him and they all become friends, and this is all their individual love stories. This one is my favorite in the series, even though I haven't read the first one, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so this one is fake dating. She is a fitness, I don't know, she's a fitness person. I don't work out, I don't know, a fitness coach, I don't know, and she's like doing this for this football player, and he doesn't want people to know that like he is getting help, because he doesn't want his fans to worry, because I think it's been a long time since I read this book, because he had like something that happened in his sports career. He doesn't want his fans to worry, so they pretend to so then they fake date. It also boosts her career. Then I have The Spanish Love Deception, where they're fake dating for her family's wedding, which is very popular. So The Kiss Quotient, where they are fake dating, and well, is it really fake dating? I put this in my fake dating list, but they were kind of like trying to get to know each other themselves, like sexually. I don't remember if they fake date. And then we have Take a Hint, Danny Brown, like duh, and they're fake dating because she ends up going viral in an elevator, and it ends up boosting both of their careers. So then they fake date because they benefit from it. So you see how all of those, the fake dating just makes sense. It's not like, oh, I need to prove to my family that I have a man, you know, like it makes sense. And a lot of times, and they're creative, right? So prove my point. So if you want to see more of this like deep dive, let me know. I would love to do more, and I have more video essays coming up. I just want to thank you guys for watching my video essays and commenting on them and really giving a fuck. I just felt like so lost with like making vlogs, and it's like I knew like I never wanted to quit booktube, but I just felt like vlogs were never my thing, because my room isn't very like aesthetic. Like, it kind of is, but it's like not really, and I'm only in my room, and like I don't go anywhere, I don't do anything. So I just felt like my vlogs weren't like intriguing, and I don't really have that many creative ideas. But like, I love filming and I love uploading, and I just feel like after years of like uploading these videos where it's like I just don't feel good enough, I feel like I finally found my calling. So I really just want to thank you guys for giving me feedback, telling me that you like this, tuning into my videos, telling me that you want to see more of it. Like, you guys don't understand how much it literally means to me. So I'm really appreciative of you guys, and I'm gonna do more of these. I have so many planned, so be tuned for my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.